Geno King Boxing back in the building, back with some more boxing news. Yes, we just seen Jermell Charlo coming out on social media making indirect tweets talking about there's no friends in boxing and a lion biting a shark. And y'all know who the shark is, right? The shark supposedly is Errol Spence Jr. Is this insinuating Jermell Charlo could be possibly facing Errol Spence Jr. in his comeback fight? It's definitely hinting towards that way. And man, both of these guys were once friends at one time. I know they were both trained by Derrick James. Neither one of these guys are being trained by Derrick James anymore. But yeah, it's interesting to see that these guys, I'm not gonna say falling out, but they're not friends no more. After we seen the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford fight, we all know Jermell Charlo was in the crowd talking back and forth to Terrence Crawford as the fight was going on. And Crawford let it be known during the fight that he was next. And yeah, very epic moment as he was beating Errol Spence Jr. That fight. They were going back and forth. Great moment. But yeah, we got Errol Spence versus Jermell Charlo. Definitely a great matchup. I guess these guys will fight at 154. But, I mean, who do you guys got, though? Like, let's be honest. We haven't seen Errol Spence since the Bud Crawford fight 2 years ago. The last time we seen Jermell Charlo was just about 2 years ago also, when he was beat and ran against Canelo Alvarez during his fight and didn't really put too much of a fight up against Canelo Alvarez. We haven't seen neither one of these guys in 2 years. A lot of people are saying, oh man, Errol would dominate Jermell Charlo. Yeah, but what Errol Spence will we get though if both of these guys will fight? I mean, let's be honest. That Crawford fight probably took a lot out of Errol Spence. We don't know what kind of conditioning. We don't know where Errol Spence's mind frame is right now to be saying Errol Spence could come back and beat anybody right now. The last time we seen him, it was a devastating loss. Jermell Charlo, yeah, he got beat by Canelo Alvarez, but it wasn't a devastating loss to where it done a lot of damage to him. He didn't take a lot of punishment during the Canelo Alvarez fight. He did a lot of running and just a lot of scare tactics. Like he didn't even want to be in there, but he didn't take a lot of damage. But who would win the fight between Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence right now? Off of going off of both of these guys' last fights, I would probably have to go with Jermell Charlo right now. We don't know what kind of condition Errol Spence is in. And is Errol Spence still a one-trick pony? Is Errol Spence, is all he has, is it still just that jab, crouch down jab coming in and then he just starts punching you? Or does he have better defense? Does he have better head movement? Is his jab a lot stronger? Is his footwork a lot stronger? Is his defense a lot stronger? Huge factors, huge questions for Errol Spence. Is his defense better than it was against the Crawford fight? Because if it isn't, I can't ride with Errol Spence Jr. right now. I just can't, man. We got to see something different from Errol Spence at the moment. That defense played a huge role. His head movement, his head movement was absent against Bud Crawford. It was nowhere to be found. And after that fight, there are going to be a lot of guys that are going to try to test Errol Spence, want to try to pop that cherry again because they think it's sweet. You know, so a lot of questions to be made. Jermell Charlo, a lot of questions with that guy too, but I think Jermell Charlo still mentally, he didn't take a huge loss like Errol Spence did. Jermell Charlo mind is still probably still there. His confidence is still probably up, so yeah. Can Errol Spence come back and be the game Jermell Charlo at 154? Did he take too much damage in the Crawford fight? Is his footwork gonna be a lot better? Because no matter what anybody says, once you get beat like that, it's gonna psychologically do some damage to you for your up and coming fights. You're gonna lose a little bit of confidence until you can get in the ring and have a couple of fights and get back in there and fight a premier fighter. So Errol Spence, I think he done the right thing by not fighting right after the Crawford fight. I think he's doing a great thing by chilling out for a couple years, getting his body and his mind back to where it needs to be, and then possibly gearing up for a showdown against Jermell Charlo. I don't think he needs to come back and fight a Fondura, Bakram. I think he needs to stay away from those guys. Jermell Charlo might be a good opponent to come back against, but hey, Jermell Charlo was that guy at 154 at one time, so we will see. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all think Errol Spence versus Jermell Charlo is must-see TV? Y'all think it's a great matchup? This is Gino King Boxing. Y'all press that subscribe button, press that like button, and I'm out.